Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are now down to the final of our startup challenge. Over the last 2 days, we've whittled down over 40 startups to 4 finalists. These 4 finalists have already won 1,000 Swiss francs each, and a partnership with one of our 4 sponsors, Eurovision, Swiss Timing, UEFA, and Asics. Now, the way this is going to work is that the finalists will give a 3-minute pitch to you and to our judges over here, and the public will make a vote for their winner and to decide their overall winner, and our panel will also make a vote for their overall winner, who will take home 4,000 francs on top of what they already won yesterday. On our jury, we have Judith Clegg from Takeout, who is also the co-author of a new book called Compassion in Commerce. We also have Daniel Kaufman from Sport Techie, who we've seen over the last couple of days, Carl Louis Hartmann from Google, and Jerry Purnell from the IOC. So, without further ado, let's open up with our first competitor. He's from Dazzl, and his name is Ryan Jesperson.
Hi guys, how's everyone? Hopefully everyone has a cocktail in their hands. So I'm Ryan with Dazzl, and yesterday I started with a karaoke, and I think I won based just on that. Today I'm going to start with a joke, and hopefully you guys will remember that.
Sorry, Ryan, before we start,
are
you ready to go?
Oh, is it?
Ready to do your whole pitch?
I went right into it, yeah.
No, that's all right, okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to fire this gun. You'll have 3 minutes, as you know.
Perfect.
From then we'll be off.
Great.
So you ready?
Ready.
Right, let's go.
All right, so my daughter told me this joke, and it's, what does a fish say when he runs into a wall? Damn. I'll let that one sink in, and then... But my name's Ryan, I'm with Dazzl, and a lot of people in my presentation, if you watched it yesterday, 98% of live sports aren't broadcasted. Right now, 2% are. These are the UEFA Champions League finals, big production events. With the advent of live mobile video, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and so on, there's so many events out there that now can open up the possibility of actually live streaming and reaching their audience. And I watched the presentation earlier today about chasing the audience, and I feel like our product is perfectly positioned to chase this 98% of broadcasts that aren't being broadcast right now in sporting events. So this is the reason why, because it's extremely complicated. You need professional people on site to actually produce the event. You need to know who's running that. You need a huge budget to be able to do that. This is cost prohibitive to grassroots sports, small sporting federations, to a multitude of different live sporting events that just can't do this production right now. This will run you 10,000 euros a day at the minimum, up to 100,000 euros event for a live sporting event. So what are we trying to do? We're trying to allow a device that sits in your pocket that everyone owns to become that live camera streaming source, to be able to record live sporting events, produce them in the cloud without any equipment on site at a very affordable level. So for 500 euros, you can get started with a full-day event and actually live stream your sports to your entire audience and chase your audience where they are, which is on social media, on your own site, niche content, and finding a new avenue to actually democratize live video production. So what can we do? We can use the iPhone. We have a free app for iOS and Android. You can use live drone footage. You can use a live encoder with a camera, so you can use a professional camera workflow to do this. And these are the kind of customers that we're working with. We're working with RSI here in Switzerland, the Federation of Ski. We just did an event in Biarritz, the Longboarding World Championships. This is an event that isn't a Tier 1 event for that organization. They would have never been able to actually produce that event with a live multi-camera professional setup with graphical overlays without a technology that's based in the cloud. So this allowed them not to have a producer on site producing that event. They used volunteers and monitors who are volunteering their time as camera operators. We have a two-way communication system where the producer could be sitting half the world away producing this event. That kind of workflow is revolutionary. Yes, you can pick up your phone and stream into social media, but what you can't do is actually produce that event, and that's where Dazzl comes in, and we're actually allowed and are able to do that. So this is the use case for RSI here in Switzerland. So they didn't have the coverage to actually produce a live sporting event, but they wanted to capture the audience through social media pre and post-match. So this is an example of just one use case of how people are using Dazzl to reach their audience. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan. Very good. And now we're going to go over to our panel, who have got 3 minutes to ask you questions about your idea.
So I wonder what feedback you have from fans who are actually using the end product of this service. Can you talk about some numbers and some feedback?
Yeah, so as one example is the Spartan race, which is like a very popular adventure race, weekend warrior type race. They were able to reach 1.5 million fans during a broadcast last year. And when you think about it, like, where's the value for the actual federation itself, the organization? What about the brands? People who are trying to sell to that 1.5 million, this is a captive audience that loves those kind of events. There's a value in that I think historically we haven't been able to reach. And when we think of a new way, money talks, these events, we just did an event in Anthony as well, TV8 Mont Blanc, covered an event that they would have cost them probably 50,000 euros or above. Using 4G data with mobile phones, they were able to capture runners doing a marathon through the mountains of Mont Blanc. And with that event as well, they were able to promote the city, they were able to promote the brand of Salomon, which had sponsored the event. And now Salomon said, hey, you know what, for that price point, we can actually bring value out of that and do that for a multitude of other events. Promote the brand and reach a niche audience that wants to see these events live.
I may ask a question about the monetization model. So how do you guys make money? Is it by selling licenses to broadcasters, or how do you guys do it?
So currently our service is all cloud-based. We're built on Amazon Web Services. So we build based on the amount of time you use our platform. The mobile app itself is free, so anybody can download. So someone who's volunteering at the event can download our app. They're given a simple token. They don't have to pay anything to use the app. So that allows you to have contributors that can actually contribute to the event without any monetization. For like a one-day event, we can do things either on a one-day event basis, or we can do it on a subscription. If you're an organization that runs these events weekly, we can do kind of longer-term annual plans with a monthly recurring fee. But it starts as cheap as 500 euros a month.
Are you just looking at lower-tier professional sports, or are you looking at the amateur and youth market as well?
I think with this technology, just with the advent of social media video, it's opened it up to anyone. So we're not limiting ourselves. Whoever wants to use our technology can. And it's not just live sports, live events. We had the elections in India happened recently, and there was a TV broadcaster locally who was using our technology to actually broadcast live. But to your point, we have large broadcasters and large brands that wouldn't use us for their professional events, but their social media teams, our technology is so easy to use that there's someone who's a social media manager or marketing person could be running this technology without having to know anything about streaming or video.
Congratulations on reaching the final. And please, can you tell us, in addition to your main business model, what you do or what the business does to give back and assist others or the planet?
So it's a great question. So our customer, TV8 Mont Blanc, just mentioned the fact, and we never even thought of this from a marketing message, but there's a reality to this, is not having any on-site production doesn't mean you need an OB truck there, you don't need to fly people there. We're offsetting the ecological impact of sending people to that event quite significantly. These are people who are already at the event volunteering, and there's no additional cost to nature or the ecology in using our technology.
And do you do anything outside, because that's part of your business model, do you do anything outside of that to give back?
To be honest, right now, we're a startup. We've been around only for less than a year. It's not been our priority. But we'll definitely put it up here and remember that for next year.
That's just about all we've got time for the questions. Thank you very much, Ryan, and good luck.
Thank you very much. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Well done. So we're going to jump straight on to our next finalist, who is Ben Reynolds from Spalk. Sorry, we've got the order slightly wrong there. Sorry. In fact, we're actually joined by Elena from IKISPORT, who's going to give her presentation to you. What I'll do, Elena, is fire this gun. So once you're ready, we'll have 3 minutes to go.
Well, I'm ready.
Okay, you ready? Let's go.
Yes. We started IKISPORT 2 years ago after 15 years of investment into sport talents. And we realized that this experience can be very engaging for fans, but high investment cap and complexity of the process keep it away from them. So to the current situation where athletes search for financing and fans for more engagement, we added blockchain technology that permits to democratize the sport investment. Basically, as company emits shares with the right for future dividends, athlete emits tokens with the right for a part of future revenue. The token here is a blockchain contract between the athlete and unlimited number of sport fans. Let's take an example. This is Yumi. She's a promising tennis player from Japan, and she's targeting top 20 WTA. To finance her career, she's searching for 300,000 euro, and she's ready to give to her investors 30% of your future prize money. This is Noah. He's a fan from Switzerland. He would be ready to invest in tennis, but existing model keep him away from this experience because of the high transaction costs and legal costs. And if we take blockchain model, we don't need middleman anymore, and there is no minimum cap for investment. So 100 euro invested will go directly to Yumi, and if Yumi succeed, actually 100 euro will become 3,000. So we work at this project with federations, sport clubs, and agents, giving them pro access, and directly with athletes and sport fans, taking a 1% of commission on transaction of the platform. We have a team of advisors coming from different sports, for example, Tony Nadal from tennis. And we're here today because we are now ready to develop our IKISPORT platform and go to the market. And we're searching for investments of 1 million Swiss francs. And we target to finance 5,000 athletes by 2023. We have a great pipeline of clients already waiting for the solution from federations, sport clubs, and teams. And apparently I finished very early. So this is just the very top of the iceberg. Behind the crowdfunding itself, there is a management of the athlete, ecosystem management, and marketplace to make contract liquid. Thank you.
Thank you, Elena. And again, we're going to go over to our panel for 3 minutes of questions.
Okay.
Over to the panel.
Okay, thank you for that. A couple of questions, actually.
Sure.
The first is, how are you going to make your money from this model? I understand how it works for athletes and investors, but what's your model for monetizing this? And the related question is, how are you going to shut competition out? Because on the face of it, you could have some competition very quickly.
Okay. We'll start with the last one. We have a go-to-market product, actually, that make a part of the project, but it's, in fact, concentrated on the fan engagement. So first, it should be fun. We're working with sport clubs directly, so we basically capture their fans to bring them to further on to the platform for the investment. And how we earn money. For the crowdfunding, there is a commission because contract, the token, is liquid. So there is a volatility of the token. There is operations to buy and sell the token. So we're taking one commission on it. And as we're working with sport entities, a lot of them interested to implement such a solution to manage their contracts with the athletes, and they're having a pro access.
Okay, so my question is, what kind of strategy do you guys have in order to create awareness for your platform and also awareness for the fundraising?
Well, again, we think that this is it's coming from our background, so we are very sure that this experience is very exciting because as soon as you invested even €1 in one athlete, you will follow him with more excitement. And our point is to basically give free access to a token to make fans live the experience, and then go a step forward, investing real money in the sport.
We've got time for one more question.
Can I take it? I've got a good one.
I want to be fair and ask the same one.
Oh no. I'll go real quick. So if I'm an investor,
yes,
and I and I approach you and I want to know a lot about the athlete. What can I know, and how far can I go before there are privacy concerns?
Definitely. There is professional indicators that are verified by our experts that actually the athlete exists. It's also very important, right, in digital world, that there is a real potential behind. And you will know the statistics of the trainings, you will know the results, because, for example, we took example with tennis. There you have a very clear statistics on results on the tournaments, very clear physical indicators. So,
can I get medical reports?
So you will have it actually. You will have an access, not well, public access. It will not touch the privacy of the athlete, obviously.
Thank you, Elena.
I hope I did answer.
Judith, you can go first next time, I promise.
I just wanted to hear what everyone had to say and what they did to give back, though, because then it's fair. Can you tell us super briefly what your business does to give back? To help others, to volunteer?
Actually, I'm coming from sustainable development, where one of the components is social engagement, in fact. And in this world, person to person, we're actually more sensible than business to business, right? And so as soon as I lived this experience, it really inspired us to share it.
Thank you,
Elena.
Yeah.
Judith, that means you can still go first next time if you'd like. No problem.
You're very generous.
Brilliant. So we're going to go straight on to our next contestant, Ben Reynolds from Spalk. Ben.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Quite
So, Ben, as you know, you're going to have 3 minutes. Once I fire this gun, we're off. You ready?
Good to go. Let me introduce you to Augustin Basso, on the left there on the picture above. Augustin is a professional rugby commentator based in Montevideo, Uruguay. He commentates rugby professionally for a variety of Latin American and Uruguayan TV networks. He's also a commentator with Spalk. At the same time, one of our biggest partners, World Rugby, have over 13 global locations for their pinnacle tournament, the HSBC World Rugby Sevens, each year. Now, for World Rugby to offer Spanish commentary for the Latin American and Spanish market, and if they want Augustin, they're either going to have to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars flying him back and forth to each of these venues. Alternatively, they could team up with Spalk, which is exactly what they did. Spalk is a virtual commentary studio that enables commentators like Augustin to sit at his home in Uruguay, commentating the game without having to leave the comfort of his home. He's sitting behind a laptop, and our patented software synchronizes his audio to the existing broadcast stream. I want to show you a quick demonstration of this on some World Rugby Sevens with actually a French commentator from just across the border.
Up by 12. Look at Nandu, the herring after this. Alicia Nanduva, look at how quick he is! Oh my word!
Pas mal de hors-jeu. Le renvoi est profond. À la course, à la course, à la course. Oui! Oh, oh, l'essai spectaculaire. Signé Nadua.
We know that targeting sports fans with commentary that speaks to them in their language, style, or team bias grows audience size. We also know it opens up opportunities for rights owners to better demographically target their audiences around the world. It opens up sponsorship opportunities as well as ways to identify new commentary talent. Now, alongside World Rugby, we work with some of the biggest sports properties in the world. The NBA G League over in the US and Canada, FIBA right here down the road in Neon, the Japanese Baseball League, and dozens of others. We know commentary is the only part of the broadcast experience that can truly be customized to speak to every single one of us as fans. Alongside having our software, we also have a huge talent marketplace of thousands of vetted professional commentators that we license into our content partners to make sure that they're getting truly the best talent they can. We have some of the most talented people in the world building our world-leading patented software. We have a fantastic group of supporters and investors who are backing us on the Spalk journey, and I'd love to invite some questions now from the judging panel to my right.
Brilliant. Thank you, Ben. Straight over to the panel.
I'm going to ask the same question of everyone, and the reason that I'm asking this in our new book, Compassion in Commerce, Chevalier and I say that giving back is a prerequisite to success rather than success being a prerequisite to giving back. So that's why I'm asking you. Yep. So what does your business do to give back and assist others?
Sure. So there's two things that really excite me about our business that in the way that we are giving back to the world and the community. The first is in a direct carbon saving. We've saved hundreds of thousands of tons of carbon being emitted by commentators sitting behind laptops and not getting on the road to travel. Secondarily, something we're proactively doing now is providing more opportunities for both female and more diverse commentators who previously weren't able to access this commentary pool. I mean, it's been an old boys club for years in terms of the producer knows a guy who knows a guy and they'll call him to do the commentary. Instead, when we make recommendations to rights partners from our talent marketplace, we're doing a 50-50 split between men and women and making sure that we're proactively providing opportunities for more diverse commentary bases. Because we know sports fans are a diverse group. You can't just have the same sort of male voice talking to them all the time.
Thank you.
I love good commentary, and I think many people do. But as we transition to more consumption of sports on mobile devices, sometimes muted while you're on the train or on a bus, does commentary matter as much anymore? Will it matter in 10 years?
Sure. We think it's a central part of the consumption experience. I mean, in our sort of internal polling of fans, whenever we're not available on a partner's piece of content, there's complaints. Why isn't this in Spanish? Why isn't this in French? What happened to the comedic commentary we had last week? So really for us, it's a sign of product market fit that consumers now recognise and expect that our rights partners are going to deliver this level of product at the end of it. And if they don't, they're posting on Facebook, they're emailing in, they're complaining and making sure that their voices are heard.
Thank you.
I'm a little bit curious about the market situation. So in how many countries is your service at the moment available? And do you face any competition or any other startups that are doing like a very similar approach than you guys do?
Sure. So we have customers spanning every continent except for Africa. So for context, the viewer will still watch on the broadcaster or the OTT product that they subscribe to, whether that's ESPN Plus or World Rugby TV or Live Basketball TV or FIBA's Facebook page. They still watch on those end consumption points. We're a B2B2C company. In terms of competitors out there, I mean, the main one for us is awareness. We're a small company of 9 people with offices in the US and New Zealand, and looking at Lausanne, London at the moment. So that's what we're excited about, more of a European HQ as well. So the biggest battle for us is awareness, but right now no direct technology competitors in market.
So building on that same question, how will you block out competition? Once you've matured the model and everybody understands it,
sure.
What is to stop somebody else replicating it and taking over your market?
Sure. So the synchronization technology, we've patented that. That's great. I mean, patents can be avoided and built around. More importantly is our talent marketplace. So we have thousands of commentators already who are a part of our talent marketplace, and we, for them, are the relationship that they have and how they're building an income stream. So we know that if new entrants are entering the market, they're really going to struggle to compete because we have the best talent in the world, and the talent is all using our software to get access to, one, an income stream, and two, content to commentate. So we know that that's the natural virality to the product and the natural competitive moat that we have in the long term.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Ben.
Great.
Well
Thank
done.
you so much. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Cheers.
Thanks.
So last but not least, we're going to crack on to the last of our finalists. From FunWithBalls, we have Marcos Kem.
Hey, man. Very good, very good. Wonderful.
So Marcos, like the others, once this gun goes, you'll have 3 minutes. You ready?
Shoot it. Perfect.
Let's go.
Hey everybody, I'm Marcus Kern from FunWithBalls. The name is intentionally. We want you to smile a little and we want to stay in your brain. This is important. So I started my company at the age of 20. About 3 years ago, I started a side project which turned into started with quite some momentum. We noticed people have a lot of problem being motivated in sport. And this is going to be a massive issue for the people here because sports participation is declining. It's getting harder and harder with all the fancy stuff around to actually have people be motivated for sports and have everybody participate in a healthy lifestyle. We only see one very good solution. We pair it with gamification. So meaning what we do is we take existing sports location, we merge them with real games, but we don't compromise the sports in any way. So the solution that we have is basically very facility orientated. We still believe a facility needs to be the center of a social interaction. It needs to be like a place where parents can send their children, and we don't want to have everybody just train at home. This is like for operators, it's highly, highly interesting on the revenue side. We believe in creating a sustainable business model for everybody, for the trainers, for the operators, for everybody. So the first product we launched was in squash. This has been going very well. We've upgraded quite some locations worldwide. The current record that we have is an added profit of 4,200 euros in 1 month on one squash court on 360 hours played on that squash court. We earned a lot of awards with this. The centers that are upgrading are slowly understanding that they need to change their business model to be much more appealing to a larger audience. The second product you see over there, this is for schools. No recurring license fee. Very simple to operate, very simple to build up. This is the outdoor version we just launched 3 weeks ago at the BMW Open. This gone this far, or actually first this, we sell the hardware. We have a software as a service model, except the multi-ball, because that's our grassroots thing where we try to get everybody join the movement. We also charge the players via marketplace, so you can get added benefits, you can have software and so on. And one thing that we now launched about 3 months ago is our own event branch. We noticed a lot of big brands actually jump onto this. Federations need a lot of help bringing this into the market. So we said, okay, we need our own team and we need our own tools to be able to bring this to big events, to activation campaigns. We work with Decathlon, Peugeot, and a lot of other big companies that I can't mention yet. We're a team of 19 people right now. In January, we've been 10. We have 2 nice announcements today. As of this morning, we crossed the 1 million in revenues with one deal that we signed with Singapore, lifetime revenue, and we've been starting to earn money last August. We're preparing a big round, and as of this morning, we signed our first ticket with IKISPORT Tech Fund, which is our first VC that actually joins us, so it's a big step. We're growing fast, and we welcome everybody to be a part of this.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Marcos. Again, straight over to the jury. They're going to ask you 3 minutes of questions.
Oh, okay, so my question would be, what are the biggest risks to your business plan going forward?
Obviously, finding the right people and scaling. We work with distributors, so we always have to find the right partners in the different markets to bring this in. It is hardware. It's not just an app that you download. It's very long lead times, so some federations might take 1.5 years. Some other people have to do their remodeling. We have to actually make them understand also that they have to change their mindset. It's not a squash center that you cater to squash people. It's a squash center that's interesting for anybody who wants to be active or just have fun. So it's a tough one, but in the long run, you can overcome it very well.
So what is the feedback from users so far? So as I understood, you are aiming for a target group, for example, for kids, but also for squash player who do it like kind of professional. So what is the feedback from the target audience, from the kids, but also from professional users?
So first of all, we start from very small kids, just getting them into activity, not even sports. Even if it's on a squash court, it's just run around, throw something. Okay. And we go up to very, detection, was this a forehand, a backhand, your running pattern. So it goes really, really deep. What we focus on most is kids, because that's where we generate the highest value for the sport and also the highest revenue. So far, I mean, who played on the wall? I'd say generally the feedback is always people get addicted, which is nice. It's a bad word, but it works really well for us because people always say, just one more, just one more. So the feedback is really well. We have the world number 5 in squash training on our system. So yeah, and we crossed 30,000 hours played on the systems.
Great.
Are you competing with esports and gaming?
No, we're not competing. We see ourselves as a hybrid. We just started this very slow. There's the first events coming up where people compete in our leaderboards. Everything's connected with an app. So every time you go on a court, you log in, we track your data. You can decide if you want to compete in a global leaderboard. In the long run, yes, this is the plan. We're even planning our own formats with a big media house right now where we say this is a new version of an existing sport, but it's upgraded to be more engaging, more action, more visually engaging. Basically, we take all the learnings from esports and we try to apply it to normal sports. Thank you.
So you probably know the question by now. What does your business do to give back? So I'm interested both in your business model, because clearly you're getting young people into sport, but what do you do outside of your business model as well to give back or volunteer to assist others?
We help a lot with federations, and I see that the one thing that we've learned is in the beginning we try to sell to them, then we realize they have a lot of problems even understanding how the world runs. If you go to a federation and tell them you need to improve how tennis works, it's not about getting more volunteers on a Saturday into a center telling people, come on, you get a free lesson. It's you need to get people, you're competing with drone racing, you're competing with online gaming, you need to actually understand that you have to be much, much more attractive to the end user. So we do a lot of free workshops. We go in, we basically try to get everybody to today's level, which is a hard job sometimes, but it takes a lot of energy, but it helps.
Marcos, thank you very much. Brilliant.
Thanks, everybody.
Well done. Best of luck. So we've had 4 really exciting ideas, a lot for you 4 to ponder over, and a lot for all of you to ponder over before we have our public vote. The judging panel, I'd like to invite you to head backstage and come to a conclusion that you all agree on, hopefully. And if you don't, then let's come to a conclusion anyway. Right. We are ready. So I'd like to welcome the jury back onto the stage, please. Jury, if you'd like to come back onto the stage. There's only 2. There should be 4. Oh, so they didn't agree with you, is what you're saying? Oh, here we go.
No, it was unanimous.
And, of course, we need to invite our finalists back onto the stage. If we could have the finalists, please.
You pass the bottle.
Clearly nervous for the result.
What's that?
I get the bottle opener.
Yes.
There we go. If we could all come around here, please, team. Yeah, a round of applause, please, for our finalists.
Thank you.
And our finalists are all joined by their respective sponsors for the next year.
Coming in here. Nice.
So, the first thing we're going to do is have our public vote. The prize will be awarded by Jordi Montserrat from Venture Lab. Round of applause for Jordi. Spoken for yourselves here. Our public winner is Marcos Ken. Well done, Marcos. You take the prize over here.
Brilliant. Congratulations, Marcos.
Thank you so much.
It is an honorary prize when it comes here, but it is the best recognition is always the public. Yeah.
We're down to the big prize, which, as we mentioned earlier, is 4,000 Swiss francs to go on top of what we had earlier. We'd like to invite Anna back out onto the stage. She's going to come out with Tim Friedland, who is last year's winner, and they're both going to give the check to our winner. Anne and Tim. How you doing? and Anna, if you come over as well. Sorry? Oh, it's too tricky. She's got a rather small check in her hands here. Okay, so Tim, you have the winner in that envelope, right? Okay, over to you.
Well, thank you. The spot. You've done it again. Are you ready? Who will be the winner? It took you longer this year. Everybody's ready. Are you guys ready? So, this year's award goes to Spalk. Ben.
Nice. Well done. Thanks. Well done. Well done, mate. Well done. Thanks. Thanks, JB. Appreciate it. Thanks. Well done. Yeah, well done. Well done. Thanks. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Would you like to say a few words? Yep.
Sure, thanks so much. And JB, do you want to come up as well? Because I know you've been big supporter yesterday, so thank you so much. Hey, look, everyone, thank you so much for putting on such a fantastic conference here today. I mean, we've really enjoyed our time in Lausanne. I'm spending a fair amount of time here now, and it's incredible to just see the diversity of not only the startups, but also the innovation coming out of all the federations and the universities and everything here. So we're really excited. Thank you again so much. And yeah, this really means a lot to us, so thank you.
And I am very happy to say, I think Anna will leave you calling the startup. The coup de cœur is the one Swiss startup which we thought really being here was bringing something great to the sports ecosystem and to the sports in itself. Anna?
Yes, it's always very nice to be able to announce a Swiss company. And who is the winner? Well, the winner is ASI.
Congratulations.